Good afternoon. My name's Tom Hewlett. I'm the collections technician and researcher here at the Esplanade Museum.
Hi, I'm Tim McShane. I'm the museum assistant for the Esplanade Arts and Heritage Centre.
At the Esplanade, we're very fortunate that we have a very extensive collection of Indigenous material, and it's come to us in many different ways.
We have about 800 pieces in total, archaeological and ethnographic pieces. The ethnographic pieces are largely came in three big collections, all in the 1950s. These are assembled by interested collectors who then either sold or donated their collections to the museum. One of the collections in particular was assembled by a very knowledgeable collector who took pains to record the history of the pieces, which makes it really valuable from a museum perspective. That a good number of these pieces, we know the names of the people who owned them, who used them, and what they were used for, even recording the names of the pieces in their original language.
Here in the museum, we take care of a great many different types of objects and artifacts. We know how to store and take care of wooden artifacts, stone, metal, hide, cloth, but sometimes we don't know adequately how to take care of and respect artifacts within living cultures. Our Indigenous artifacts sometimes require certain protocols in their care, and we actively seek the help and advice of Indigenous elders in developing those protocols. They've given us a smudge box, which we've used quite extensively over the past number of years, and have taught us certain ways to respect certain artifacts.
The Aniskim, or buffalo stone, is an important part of Blackfoot culture. And the way that we were storing it was, as we would most of the stone pieces, in its own little padded compartment. But it was suggested to us that, being that it is so important and tied to the buffalo, that we have a little patch of buffalo hide with the fur on it for it to rest with, just to keep it together, to keep it grounded. We've learned from Indigenous elders and knowledge keepers that any pipe can be used in a ceremony. Smoking of a pipe is very important in a lot of ceremonies. And that the first part of that ceremony is assembling the pipe, joining the stem to the bowl. So we've learned that it's not proper to store the pipes assembled, that the act of putting together draws ancestors to witness the ceremony, and that an assembled pipe might be drawing ancestors to a ceremony that isn't about to take place. So we've learned to store these separately. We don't have a great deal of our Indigenous or Métis material on exhibit. When we were developing this gallery, we were quite aware that these represent stories that aren't really ours to tell, but we couldn't just pretend that the people weren't here for thousands of years before European settlers showed up. We have been working with Indigenous communities to get the stories of these artifacts and to make sure they're properly displayed, and we hope to bring that work together into public exhibitions in the future.
Here in the museum, we're working with Indigenous and Métis communities and community members to try to build ongoing relationships rather than just one-off exhibits. But that takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort, and we don't always get things right.
And many museums don't have the resources to be able to dedicate to that kind of relationship building, and aren't giving due attention to their Indigenous collections, not because of a sense of neglect, but more of a sense of fear, of afraid to do the wrong thing. In an address to the Alberta Museums Association annual conference some years back, Kainai community member Paulette Fox addressed this and saying that fear that many people feel, that's a good thing because it comes from a good place. That fear, that's called respect.
So thanks very much for watching this, and please feel to contact us if you have any questions. My name's Tom Hewlett.
And I'm Tim McShane.
Thanks for watching.